I'm not sure. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. Alrighty, there I am. I, I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I've got things going on, four different screens, got the lights going, and I'm ready. So let's get to it. Thank you so much for joining us, all the group. Looks like everybody's checking in. I would like it if everyone could give me a thumbs up if they can see me and hear me. That would be wonderful. And that way we can keep this rolling forward. I've got four different screens going. I've got a check going over there on a separate laptop, separate instance. So hopefully everything's working. So nobody has given me a there we go. So Corey, thank you so much. I think it is Corey. It doesn't help things that I'm darn near blind. So it doesn't help things. I can't see. So that's crazy. Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so glad that everybody's able to get in there. Uh, Looks like our stream is going really well, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the normal. I want to thank everybody for last month. Oh my gosh. Who knew? I didn't know. It was the weirdest thing. The For some reason, when the keys were being sent back and forth between the software and then the hub and all those things were trying to handshake, only half of it connected. The other half never told me that it was not connected. That was the weirdest thing. That was weird. And I went through the logs and I spent an entire day trying to figure out what happened, what messed up, because I went ahead and had a show. No one ever saw it. But I talked about all the different things and all the shows. So, I went ahead with that. And because of that, it was, I went through the logs and I noticed that there was a weird strip right in the middle. And it was down to the millisecond. And I couldn't figure out what that was, but it knocked some of the handshaking key across the line. I subscribed to another channel that talks about, the sun and all those sunsets, and they said, hey, did everybody do fine with the big sun thing that happened? I'm like, wow, okay. So I looked into it. The exact second that happened, there was an exact, some kind of sun flare that was hitting North America at the time. And it knocked out that half of the communication. I was one in a million. I wish it would be a lottery ticket. That'd be better. But it was one of those things that happened that knocked me offline. And it looks like everything is working, and I'm so glad. Thank you guys for putting the thumbs up. There is kind of a delay because it's got to go through all the stuff. So what I'm seeing is happening before everything else is happening out there. So it's back and forth. And I'm going to have to look at this screen because everything is operating. I believe there's no way to make that larger. It would be nice. And looks like Henry is here. Hello. I can't really see because these are in gray in color. you know, Blind. All right, my vision is not that good, so I really can't see a lot of the comments. Some of them are looks like Rochester, New York. I see that. Thank you for jumping in. Arrow of Light Knot. That's a neat thing. I'm a youth. Can I wear my Arrow of Light Knot? Actually, youth, they wear. Let me answer that question real quick. The youth get to wear the actual Arrow of Light, which is it's a arrow, and it's got the logo of Arrow of Light. They get to wear that underneath their pocket, underneath their rank. Okay, that's the youth. The adults don't get that. They have to wear the knot. So the youth wear that one, and the adults wear the knot. So hopefully that answered your question. I have a video coming up. It was suggested by you guys, by my great fans out there that are watching this. You guys get to send in, put comments on any video. I'll see them, and I'll put it on the whiteboard for next season. But one of the things on there is, what knots can a youth wear? And I think that's a great video, and we're working on scripting it and getting it into the pipe and doing all of that. But I wanted to talk about the last few videos that just went up. Let me make sure I'm in the right segment here. Looks like we're working on that. I'm having a dickens of a time. I live in Orlando, Florida, and recently we had a hurricane roll through our state. Orlando is where they send everybody. That's where everybody evacuates to. So it's the safest place to be. And we lost our power. That was about the only thing that happened here. Shingles on the roof, no car damage, nothing like that. But we did lose our power. The sewer started to back up a little bit, and that was a problem because they put the sewer pipes right next to the water storm drains. So that's not good for environmental reasons. So that started to back up. So we became a higher priority. So they turned our power back on. They were able to get the lines fixed and get our power back on. But it knocked me out for 3 or 4 days of production. And so everything's running real late. And wouldn't you know, the video I'm working on right now has a lot of photographs blended in with the video. And oh my, it's been a real challenge. I have notes after note after note about what's going on in regards to all the different photographs that I needed to take, and make sure that they got edited, because you just can't take a photograph. You have to edit it a little bit. You want it to look nice, especially in a video. But the last few videos that went up, there was one before this sheet, and my printer died. We're running out of shoelace here. That was fun. So we went electronic, which saves on paper. But I believe, let me get caught up here on some of my notes. We talked about linked troops. That was a big one. You guys liked it. That was good. Linked troops are the linked girl and boy troops, Scouts BSA. Those are out there. There's so many pros and cons to that. Now keep in mind, we're all volunteers. None of us are professionals. We don't get paid for this. So we can't make policy changes, okay? We have to stay within those things. And linked troops should be separated, because you have the leadership of a troop is done by the youth. And if you have girls and boys together, and I've seen this, and I've seen comments to this effect, where if you have girls and boys together, usually the boys will just sit back and let the girls run things. That's not the way to develop good leadership. So the boys need to have their own senior patrol leader of their own troop. And the same thing's true for the girls. So they can be linked by the same organization, and they can use the same equipment, use the same calendar, kind of run together but separate. And that tends to be the best thing for now. In a few years, we've only been doing it for about 3 years. So it's something new for Boy Scouts in a troop situation. It's not new when you're dealing with crew, okay? When you're dealing with venture, we've been doing that for many years. And before that, we did it with explorers. So we've had girls in scouting for a very, very long time, okay? Just look at the videos that are out there. You'll see that girls have been involved directly in scouting since the beginning, really. Baden-Powell's wife actually started the guide movement over in England. So I thought that was, if you look at the history, girls have always been in there, but we've always tried to use it as a leadership development. Scouting is over 100 years old, and being an old person, I know that things change slowly. Okay, so you got to think of it that way. And it's a sign of the times. It was an element of its own. And now modern scouting has Scouts BSA with girl troops and boy troops. And they're both awesome. So that's my take. And I did a video, I believe that was aired September 14th, last month. Then September 21st, we had, let's see, quartermasters. Put your thumbs up if you're a quartermaster. Okay? Quartermasters are awesome. Okay? Quartermasters are really cool. So I'm watching for somebody. Any quartermasters out there? I don't see. Okay. I'm looking at the, unfortunately the names are in a dark gray and I can't really see them. Harry S. Scout Trade O'Ree. Ooh. Alrighty. Let's see, video about den leaders. Ooh, that would be a good one. I like that suggestion. I'll write that down. I will look into it. I don't know if I've done anything. Oh, there we go. We have somebody. Thumbs up all the way. Awesome, guys. Quartermaster. That is one of those jobs. Quartermaster, a lot of people take for granted. I think quartermasters are worth their weight in gold because you got to take care of your gear. There's nothing worse than going camping and having the only tent with broken poles. Okay, if you got a good quartermaster and a quartermaster team, I'm talking several, they won't hand you that tent with the broken things. Okay, they're gonna give you equipment you could use, and I tell you, quartermasters are awesome. And that video was really to inspire a lot of the adult leaders to, especially the assistant scoutmasters, to get them involved with the quartermaster team. Get an assistant scoutmaster to be in there along with somebody from the committee. The committee's got the purse strings, so they're the ones that can actually write a check if you need a new tent to replace things. That's the key three of the equipment, and that equipment belongs to the troop, but it's also controlled through your chartered organization. So, that equipment is very important. You can't really go camping without it. So, that's one of the key. And that quartermaster video, a lot of people liked it. And if you have a quartermaster, please just take a moment next scout meeting and say thank you for all the hard work you do behind the scenes. They really work hard. Okay, you quartermasters know that. Okay, so definitely develop that team. Make sure that you're taking care of the equipment. Otherwise, you can't have fun. A broken tent is miserable when it starts raining. You just don't want to go there. So that's not good. Okay, so definitely stay away from that. All right, I'm going to get caught up on some of these messages. You got a bunch of messages coming in. What's funny is I could see the icons, but I can't see your name. It's in fuzzy gray. I see somebody put the little triangle up. You must be a visual honor recipient. That's excellent. Let's see. I got a few other ones coming in. That's the neat thing, is that no matter what, the video is going to be saved. And if you need to go to bed or do something, go ahead. Don't feel I'm not going to cry. Okay. I cry when all of it breaks. But if you got something to do, just go. Okay. And be safe and have fun. Okay. So that's an important thing. But back on those quartermasters are worth their weight in gold. Okay. Grow your own commissioner. Just recently came out. That was on the 28th. I think that was last week. Grow your own commissioners is something that I heard about. I was in a live meeting like this, and it was amazing to me that Grow Your Own Commissioners came up. And I had it on there and I just didn't think about it. But that's an awesome idea. We are in a severe commissioner shortage. There's not enough commissioners out there. I think it's like 15 to 1. And every unit has one. They just don't know who it is because, and a lot of times, commissioners are so rare they have to parse them out, and it's usually to units that are having struggles, or they're trying to prevent struggles, okay, or problems. So they parse them out and they visit like once a month or once every 3 months. I mean, it is, they should be there every other meeting or so. That's what I've been trying to do with the units that I have as a unit commissioner. Commissioners, there's a shortage of them. And there's nothing wrong with a unit growing their own. If you have great leadership that might leave because there's no place for them, there you go. You could have your own commissioner. You could actually develop that within the unit. You can develop the commissioner for your unit. And if your unit is a linked unit, you have a boy and a girl troop, or if you have your troop and a crew, or you have a troop and a pack, you can use the same commissioner. That's something to think about. The commissioners are the connection between your unit and the rest of your council, the rest of your district. They're that connection. And they're not just found at units. You can also find them at Roundtable. So definitely, if you're an adult leader, please go to Roundtable. Now, a lot of Roundtables will also have their OA meet at the Roundtable. And they might even have some daycare kind of situation there for youth that go with their parents. So usually it's very young youth, but the OA is always there. They usually have their meetings about the same time. But that's kind of the last 3 videos that have been out. The one that's taken me a long time is the one coming up. It's how to design your own patches. This is a big subject. A lot of times a leader is approached and they say, hey, we need a patch for this camporee, or we need a patch for your unit. You know, we want to celebrate our 50th anniversary. This is a great opportunity to use that artistic skill you have and kind of create a patch. Where do you start? That's kind of what this video that's coming up. And I have been taking photographs of different parts of patches so that you can understand all of your options when you're dealing with patch design. There's even links, and this is true for all of the videos. All of the videos have links in the More section. You just click on the More button, and there's links in there. There's style and logo requirements from National. I was able to get that and put that in there. There's all kinds of stuff. So be looking for that. That's coming out this coming Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be coming out. Hopefully. Oh my, the hurricane knocked me out for 3 days. We had winds and rain like crazy. We got about a foot of rain. And there was terrible damage and flooding in Florida. But we only got an outage of power. So I'm grateful for that. And they were able to restore it rather quickly. But it put my editing behind because that requires power. And I do not have that ability to have that. But those are the last 3 and the next one coming up. Now I want to look at some of your stuff here. So let me get caught up. Yes, in Florida we've had a little bit of damage, but in Orlando we're fine. In fact, both coasts on either side, they evacuate to Orlando. So, we're kind of the shelter for Florida. So, but we're fine. A lot of some of these are damages, and that's fine. Troop 175, I see him. 175 is one of my units, and it's a linked unit. So very cool. Alrighty. All right, I'm gonna zoom back a little bit and kind of catch up. Traderie, okay, near Salem. Tradery. You know, I have some videos about patch trading. And recently we did one on OA patches. You can actually go in and look at the OA patches. Double check over there. Okay, I'm still on. Yay. Um, yeah. Uh, Patch trading is big. Okay, we need to get our youth into trading patches because that's you know, all of the scout law comes into play. Being trustworthy and loyal and helpful and friendly and all those things start to come into play. So as an adult leader, don't tell the kids, don't tell the scouts, but this is a great learning opportunity. Patch trading is perfect for that. So definitely look into patch trading, even with your own unit, going out, camping, being friendly and courteous to other units, like a camporee or something, and doing patch trading back and forth between units. These are wonderful opportunities to really put the scout law into action. That's what's so cool about it. So definitely think about doing some patch trading. Go to these traderies. A lot of times, if you've never traded patches or really never gotten into patches, go to a tradery. Every district, every council has a tradery. Look into it. Take the whole troop. Take the whole pack. Usually the youth will get free patches. They will get patches, and they can take those patches and start trading, start using what they know, and start being friendly, courteous, and kind, and trustworthy, and start trading patches. Something to think about. So definitely look into that. You'll find one in your area, even in Rochester. I saw that earlier. Make a video about NOAC. Guess what? I have one about NOAC. You will see that I went to two NOACs. I was advisor once, for our contingent, and then I was co-advisor the second time I went. Then we traded, the two adults. You know, we traded that position between the two that we were committed to, and we went to NOAC, and we had the best time ever. Okay, now my NOAC that I was doing, I was kind of stressed out because I was leading the contingent and I was being sent off to meetings and hearing about all the problems and all that stuff. So it was okay. I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. In fact, on this channel, if you go to the very bottom, I mean, it's down there. It's like 200 or 300 videos ago. If you go to the very bottom, there's a vlog in there. You'll see a non-bearded me. You'll actually see me in those videos. That's on NOAC. I think that was 2012. In 2015, I went to the 100th anniversary, and there's a NOAC channel. It's a separate channel from this, and I believe there are links to it. I think they are in the 2012, which is on this channel. That there was no place to put them, so we put them here. That was kind of how the channel started. Then, because I had other channels, I moved everything here to the ScouterStan channel. So if you were looking for NOAC, that's where you do it. There's really good NOAC videos. Plus there are videos on this channel that also talk specifically about NOAC. For those who are not in the OA, NOAC is like their big national jamboree for OA. So that's the only thing I could really equate to. OA is neat. Okay, so if you have the opportunity to get into OA, please do so. Let's see. Heard people, other positions, 175. Yay, 175. You guys are awesome. Oh, wow, what was that? Something happened over there. Okay, made a funny noise. Did you hear that? Oh my, oh my. What's going on with this? Oh, that's what it... I moved the mouse. There we go. There we go. I moved the mouse a little bit, and and the whole thing started to collapse on me. Ugh, craziness. The things that go on, there's outtakes. By the way, I've been meaning to bring this up. Did you know there's a join button? Did you know that? There's a join button on this channel. You can actually support financially. You can support the ScouterStan channel. And it's like $4. I think that was the lowest amount they would ever, they wouldn't go any lower. But that's something that they do. But it's $4 a month, and you get a lot of perks. You get extra videos. Did you know that? That every free video has an extra video. It's like 4 or 5 minutes, but it's an extra stuff I didn't have time to put in the normal video. But you get to have that as an extra. So the join button is awesome. You can join that. And when you do, you get all these you get icons, and you get a badge. And I mean, you get a lot of little stuff. I mean, YouTube, they do a lot of neat stuff. Now Patreon is separate. Now, as you know, if you're a patron, Patreon gets the free videos up to a week ahead of time. Okay? They actually see them first. So the ones that are coming out, they're saying they're the first, they're not. Because people on Patreon see them before everyone else. That's their benefit. But if for benefits on the channel, you get all kinds of little extra perks. There's chat room stuff that only members see. There's a lot of little stuff into it. So look into it. If you hit the join button, it's not immediate. Okay, you got to do stuff. But you can see my little blurb about it, and you can see all the neat things you get with the join button. So feel free to join if you want to financially support the channel. Maybe I'll buy better gear. or even better, I'll get somebody to help me. So they won't do it for free, that's for sure. I do it for free, but everybody else wants money. All right, adult leaders recruiting question. Oh my. You should always be recruiting all the time, 24/7. Tell you, it's difficult. Okay, I'm an assistant scout, assistant cub master. That's what CM is, and committee to a cub master next year. 2 years and done. Replacement. You know what? That's pretty good. You got 2 years and you're done being a cub master. The next thing you need to be is a UC, which is unit commissioner. That's the next step. And then it should go that way. 10 leader, cub master, unit commissioner. Okay. It should go in that order. That's just me. That's just me. Now some cub masters move on to either a troop committee or even assistant scoutmaster or scoutmaster. So that might be something. But then after that, unit commissioner. Okay. That's important. We need to be in that evolution for adult leaders. We need to be thinking about unit commissioner, and every unit deserves one. Every unit actually has one. If you watch the video, you'll see. So that's important. I'm the first follower. You know what? I think I do remember that, James. Is it James? Yes, I think it's James. First follower. There was a lady in India that was my first subscriber, and I believe she still is. I don't know if she's here. We have a tremendous following from India, Indonesia. A lot of different places in Asia have a very similar scouting program. So they watch this. That's what's so cool. A lot of that parallels. These things kind of go together. I am dying of thirst here. Water. Best thing ever. Alrighty. First follower. Bet. That's awesome. I do recognize that name. Alrighty. Looking to better ceremonies. Ceremonies for a lodge for the OA. The Tipasaw. That's these guys. Tipasaw They did a lot of the development with National. The young men that were working on that at the time were part of my chapter. A lot of them were, and they worked on the Brotherhood ceremony that recently changed over. They were the ones who actually developed it. So the ceremonies are very important in the OA, and they have to be respected, and um, they have to be meaningful. Okay, in a very dignified way. The OA in the past wasn't very sensitive to what they were doing. Okay, nowadays they are, and being an understanding how that can be offensive. They want to make sure that everything gets approved. Okay, so it's a long time before ceremonies change or go through that approval process. It took years. Okay, and that was another reason I was the contingent leader in 2012 for NOAC. I was going up there for meetings too, dealing with the changes in the ceremonies. So that was going on at that time, and it was just absolutely amazing how we want to be sensitive to using that American narrative, the American Native or the American Indian, as they prefer, uh, that we wanted to be respectful to that. And we wanted to make sure that those ceremonies did not take advantage of anything. So we wanted to be respectful in using that narrative so that we can still do the ceremonies respectfully. So that was very important. That was one of the reasons I started doing that. Oh my gosh, there's some serious questions out there. But the OA is one of those things that is near and dear to me. In fact, the Tipasaw Lodge not only did the Brotherhood ceremony that's currently being used, they also started the Iligamat program. So, that's one of those ceremonial things that they've done. Let me get some water again. All right, now call out ceremonies. Now, call out ceremonies, for those of you that are not in the OA, call out is the beginning of your journey. It's right after the election. Then you do call out. Up north, they do that during summer. Down in the south, they do it at the fall or the winter camporee. That's usually before the end of the year. If you're in the south, that's usually December. Okay, but they don't do it up north for obvious reasons. It's cold. So, but the call out is when they actually bring people that have been elected and bring them to a Cracker Barrel, actually, feed them a bunch of snack food after a campfire, and give them basic information about ordeal. So that's kind of what the ceremony is. Those can go awry. I could tell you stories, but as long as the adult leadership's keeping a good eye on your scouts, you'll do just fine. So you got to be careful with goofing off. I like to goof off. Everyone likes to goof off, but you got to be respectful. That's a part about it, being friendly and courteous, being kind to others. So that's a big thing. So let's see. Assistant den leader. Ooh. When my son was going through Cub Scouts, they told all of the adults that they were expected to stay and be assistant den leaders. So all the adults were den leaders that were there. So there was one that was the actual den leader, and then all the adults that stayed with the pack, or excuse me, with the den, they were assistant den leaders, and that worked. For a lot of times they would actually say, "Hey, that's not so bad. It's not so hard," and they would actually become den leaders. They would go through the training and the process and actually become den leaders. Moms and dads are scared. Okay, they're scared of being in front of other people's kids. So that's a big fear. And when they get exposed to it through just becoming assistant den leaders, that's a great way to recruit and get people involved. The more parents you have involved, the better the pack runs. I know that. I was a Cub Master. Man, did we have fun. Wow. I liked being a Cub Master. That was awesome. I had some of the best kids. Awesome. New assistant den leader. Awesome. Fantastic. Hey, Stan. Wanted to know tips. Adult leader transition. Okay. Alrighty. I got that one. Alright. There was a question about youth adult leader transition. Transition. My eyes. Not good. Okay, I'm gonna get bigger, thicker glasses. They're gonna look like the bottoms of Coke bottles. I mean, oh my goodness, they're gonna be bad. But I tell you what, when you have youth that are really into scouting, and I've had some youth that are just gaga about scouting, and that's wonderful. You want them to go through that process, and if they're not going off to college or getting married or going off or whatever after 18, most of the time they're at home. That's a great resource. Having those young people that have gone through the program, keeping them involved. They should pay back, paying it forward. Isn't that what you should do? As a leader, pay it forward. Okay, so the youth that are 18 and aging out, they might have eagled, that they have all those skills. Okay, as soon as they're 18, they're an assistant scoutmaster. It's that simple. Junior assistant scoutmasters are not 18. Okay, that ends at 18. So after 18, you're an assistant scoutmaster. That's kind of that progression. You want to move them into that. Now, a lot of those are going off to college, and we've got one on the whiteboard for season 8, which is next year. So it's coming up. We have one set aside where we're actually going to be doing that progression, from youth into a leadership position. I believe it's College Reserve is the actual working title of it. Some of the research is still being done as far as what that entails and how that is used within a unit. So the youth that go through that through Cub Scouts and then they go through the troop environment, that youth needs to be paying it forward by participating and giving them the opportunities. That's really where the adults need to step in and give the opportunities, put them in charge of something, have them work with the quartermasters, have them work with different youth in the unit, making things better. That's always a good thing. So moving that forward is important, and we are still working on season 8, I believe. We're season 7 right now, and that's until December. In December, I'm taking off. Okay. I need a break. So keep that in mind. I need a break. And besides, when I go to the shopping center or the mall or something, little kids see me and they see this, and they think I'm Santa. And I don't tell them different. I don't want to hurt their feelings. So, I'm busy during December. I become Scouter Santa. Yeah. Alrighty. Wish I could see these names. If I get the shadow just right. Steve the editor. Hello, ScouterStan. Hey, Steve. Let's see. This is awesome. Thank you. Alrighty, ScouterStan. You cool, funny guy. Alright, yeah. I'm not that funny. I just have a good time. So, but I'll tell you what, we have talked for quite some time. 41 minutes. Holy cow, how did it go so quickly? Amazing, amazing. One of the projects that I want to work on is Scoutmaster Moments, or a Scoutmaster's Minute. I believe that a lot of troops still use that term. And, a lot of times with scouting, they're talking the safety minute or the safety moment. That's great. But that I want to encourage scout leaders to have some story, at the end, where it kind of wraps the meeting. And I want to encourage scout leaders to look into that. There are books about it. There are tons of stuff on the internet that's free, that you can download and print out and have for your meeting. But scoutmasters especially should have a moment at the end where they do a presentation. They talk to their to the scouts and really make that point. Something to think about on the way home. Today's in today's environment, most scouts, if they're not in the meeting, they're like this. Okay, they're tapping away at the phone. Okay, they are so distracted, and their time is valuable. So give them something to think about as they stare out the window on the ride home. So definitely have a story for them. Then, and try to tie it into the 3 promises in the Scout Oath. Tie it into any of the 12 Scout laws. You can do this. It's something you can do. Try to put that out there. I know that when I visit my linked troop and they have their closing, they do them together. The 2 troops come together, so that the Scoutmaster from both does a Scoutmaster's Minute, which is awesome. Those you can't get enough of. And try to keep it short. It's only a minute. Some Scoutmasters have a Scoutmaster's Moment, okay? You know what I mean? So that sometimes gets will make you nuts. But definitely look into it. Okay? So just finished the ordeal today. Wow. Ordeal. Ordeal is awesome. If you get a chance to get involved with OA, please do it. A lot of people are scared away from it. Don't get involved into it. It's important. It is important. Den Chiefs, yes. Den Chiefs, you also can do the Scoutmaster's Minute. Okay, you do it as a Den Chief Minute. You can do that at a Den meeting. So look into it. Find something cool. Try to keep it not too intense. Keep it shorter than a minute if you can, because you're dealing with younger people. Now, the young people today are smarter than my people when I was young. I think we were pretty unintelligent. So we weren't as smart as the kids today. Oh my gosh, the kids today are smart. So you don't have to, be too technical about it, okay? So just keep it simple. It's Cub Scouts, okay, when you're dealing with Den Chief. Den Chief, please go and do that Den Chief moment. Make sure your Den leader knows about it. Don't just go off and do it, okay? You need to be communicating with your adult leadership whenever you're working with, Cub Scouts as a Den Chief. But Den Chiefs are best thing. It's the best kept secret in scouting. Okay, it is awesome. So watch the video. I have a video on Den Chiefs, on training of Den Chiefs. I've been training Den Chiefs for many years. So, but you don't. It's something that you can do. So I want to put in there. Normally, the ScouterStan's Minute. Oh, I can't even. What does that say? The glare on my screen. I have a terrible monitor. It's awful. And with the lights and everything, it's not helping. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Yes. You don't have to go, but you can't stay here. Yeah, I gotta wrap it up. It's almost oh my gosh, it's been past 45 minutes. It's getting late. You know, out west, it's the big, it's in the evening. Here, it's getting late. Everybody needs to wrap it up for the night. Monday is a big day. I know that in my district, in my council, Mondays, 80% of the troops have their meetings on Mondays. So it can be kind of stressful going around and trying to hit 3 or 4 meetings that are going on. So that's just the joy of scouting. So, but tomorrow is another work day. Everybody's back to work here in Orlando. The power is back on. 90% of the city is back up and running. So that is awesome. So I will leave it with that. Thank you so much for participating, and I will make sure that we get this posted to the internet, to the channel. It'll be in the live section, and of course we have November's coming up. I believe November is the 6th, so that's the first Sunday of each month. We have these little meetings, live meetings, where I just talk and talk. Nah, it's too much coffee is what it is. But and we have a good time. But the next meeting will be on the first Sunday, and that's November 6th. If I could figure out, oh my gosh, there's so many different screens going now. Wow, it's high tech. Woo, high tech for an old guy. So we got it going. Alrighty. Thank you very much for all that you do in scouting, and definitely keep up that hard work. You know, scouting is one of those things that, I think for a long time we took it for granted, but we need to put a little more into it. Young people today, we need to have this. There are so much going on for young people that us as scout leaders, we need to help them achieve, help them do better. And when we do, we make the whole thing better, America better. We make the world better. Okay? So keep up that hard work. And I know you do such good work, and I'm so very proud of you. So keep up that good hard work, and I will definitely see you guys on the trail. Thank you.